So my name is Greg Winslow. I served as a missionary for 27 years in Zihuatanejo, Mexico, and Acapulco, Mexico. You might know this story. You might be sick of hearing this story. But we had a violence epidemic, and it was in our church property. We had people with guns come on various occasions, and sometimes we couldn't even get off the property because guns were at the end of the driveway. So we finally came together as churches and said, we're going to push this thing back in prayer. The government ain't helping, the police ain't helping, the military isn't helping. We went to the only person we know who would help, that was God. We came together unified in prayer on the basis of birthright, not denomination, and we began to pray and use the authority that God gave us. Very important, because we didn't ask God to do anything He's commissioned us to do. We didn't say God's sovereign, He'll do whatever He wants to do whenever He wants to do it. We used the authority that God gave us, and we saw dramatic pushback in Zihuatanejo in the area of violence. Step ahead and come up here in Manchester. Last year we had been prayer walking in Manchester like we have been for one solid year, rain or shine, freezing or whatever. And the Lord led us to get the NHA arena, which we did on October 28th. And it was to fill that place with prayer warriors and to pray for the drug crisis that we have here. And lo and behold, the mayor's office put out a statistic at the beginning of this year that opioid deaths and opioid overdoses are down 20% in Manchester, which was number one the year before that. So we see that if we come together and if we join together and pray and use the authority that God gave us, we will see results. So this year we've decided to go to the 10 regions and have meetings in each of those 10 regions. Last month we were in Manchester. We had 200, amen, Richie? 200 praying for God to continue to push back in Manchester. March 10th, we're going to be at Singing Hills in the Upper Valley. In July, we're going to be at Hidden Hills in the Monadnock region. There's a Concord event possibly, and a Portsmouth one planned coming up as well. And we really are desiring to see people come together and pray, and because we know prayer changes things. But it seems like we give God 5 minutes, and if God doesn't change it in 5 minutes, what's the use? It's time, in my opinion, after last night. I just got so sick of hearing that we lost saving babies who are alive in the name of healthcare by 9 votes or 8 votes. I thought, if it doesn't cause us to react, when are we going to react? I mean, we reacted when the guns started getting put into our heads. And all my family has had guns at their head. And we said, you know what, that ends this. Right. And I just want to read this verse to you. And I want you to know, Satan had a moment when he arrested Jesus. Jesus said, this is your moment to reign. He didn't get an infinitive of moments, but God is with the church right now. And the church needs to understand, as Annette was saying, this moment in time to react. To react. We shouldn't have to react when the guns are blaring. We should know enough to do so before. This verse here, Luke 10:18. I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning, because Jesus was out doing the work. And then it says, look, I have given you authority over all the power of the enemy, and you can walk among snakes and scorpions and crush them, and nothing will injure you. Well, I've been stung by scorpions. I've killed coral snakes and rattlesnakes in my house and all that, and I'm alive. Because when they bite me, I crush them. I don't sit there and say, oh gosh, what do I do now? Do you understand? There has to be, without being aggressive to one another, an aggression against the enemy that is trying to eliminate and destroy us, our lives, our society, our families, life in general. And I want to encourage you, if you are in one of those regions, please connect so that we can have a prayer event and tear this stuff down. In your region desperately needs it. And we want to, my goal is this year, light New Hampshire on fire with prayer this year, and New England as well. And I'm not saying that I can do that. I'm not saying I'm the indicated one, but you know what? God's put a passion in my heart. I want to do it. I want to join with you. I don't know any better than you. I just want to do what God's called me to do. Amen? So if you would like any info, I got tons of it. Please talk to us, and we'll look forward to collaborating with you. Amen?
Amen.
And God bless you.